It is the information about the meeting being held in a very constructive atmosphere, and information related to preliminary results are actually coming from the government sources. It's official information. So something from government sources. So we do have a certain degree of certainty what has been attained, and those preliminary results indicate that atmosphere was quite constructive. Discussions were substantial. The subject matter was related to all the three tracks, and that discussions will continue at all levels from now on. So,
it is not surprising to see Armenia and Azerbaijan have been able to come to this constructive, positive atmosphere, considering the recent geopolitical developments in the region. It is also something very new in the Armenia-Azerbaijan relations. For the first time in the post-Soviet period, it looks like the position, the interests of Azerbaijan and Armenia in geopolitical terms are converging, in the sense that Armenia now understands there are external actors who try to pursue divide and rule strategy in the South Caucasus, creating this conflict, manipulating it, undermining peace process, and using it as a leverage against both Armenia and Azerbaijan. And as they have come to this conclusion, they have started to demonstrate more constructive position. And it is one of the reasons why...
It's very interesting, Vasif. If you remember, discussions after 2020 were trilateral. They had been trilateral for some considerable time, up to late 2023. You recall that Brussels meeting in April 2022, after which, if you recall, foreign ministers spoke by phone. That many analysts used to describe it as an embryonic emergence of bilateral format, because there was a first contact, direct contact between them. And then, of course, we remember other meetings throughout 2022. We remember August meeting of 2022, but they were still trilateral, of course. And then 2023, when the beginning of that year, the trilateral Brussels format was on the verge of collapse. We remember that United States interfered, and then Armenia recognized Azerbaijan's territorial integrity in May with exact figures, so with square kilometers mentioned. But it was only in late 2023 that bilateral format sort of emerged, and that emerged after Azerbaijan fully restored its sovereignty over the rest of the Karabakh. Was that the main factor sort of inducing Armenia into bilateral negotiations? Because before that point, the key Armenian, the element of the Armenian reasoning was that we don't trust each other, therefore mediator is an absolute must. But back then in late 2023, after the removal of Karabakh subject from the agenda, Armenia itself started to talk more about the necessity of bilateral meeting.